want to say that I do not represent the military when I'm making this video. All of these thoughts are all mine. I'm representing Tierra, just a regular human being. And if it gets me in trouble, you know, wouldn't be the first time I got in trouble for speaking my mind. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm not coming to you as a service member or representing the Air Force. I'm coming to you speaking my truth and telling my story. Hey everybody, it's Tierra, and I've been going back and forth about whether or not I wanted to make this video. I decided, being a service member in the Air Force, we are held to different set of rules other than, unlike civilian side, we have our own laws that we are held to. You can get in trouble about what you post on social media and what, like, some things that you say if it's too political, but at the end of the day, it's my truth. And if I get paperwork or get written up or get in trouble, you know, I'll take that L, but I'm not going to be silenced or stifled into not speaking my truth and the things that are happening to me. And all the things that I'm going to speak about in this video, they are all encounters. I've been in the military almost 6 years come August, that I've experienced, that have some bouts of racism, microaggressions, discrimination, things like that, stereotyping, all of those. So it is what it is. I'm going to speak my truth and tell you what it's like to be Black in the military. I've been struggling here lately, especially with everything that's going on in the world, and I often get asked, like, Tierra, how can you serve in the military and serve a country who doesn't care about you, or serve to protect people who don't care about you? And I struggle with that all the time. In this point in my life, in my career, I am weary and I'm tired, you know? So this is my story. I'm going to give you examples of, like I said, of times that I faced racism, discrimination, microaggressions in the military. The military has racism within its ranks. There are racists within the ranks, and they get to hide behind the uniform. So let's get started. To join the military, you have to, you know, get sworn in. Then you enter the delayed entry program, DEP. I remember going to MEPS, the medical portion where you get evaluated to see if you're able to join the military. And I remember, people might say, oh, that's not big of a deal, but when you constantly hear it all the time, it gets a bit annoying and redundant. And I remember the person being so shocked at how eloquent and articulate I was. You know, I hate when people say that, because it's like, what are you trying to say? You know, filling out the paperwork saying that I went to college and being asked that if I got into college because I was Black and like some type of quota. I remember that to this day. You know, I'm like, clocked it, I see you. Because I would see that throughout my career. Those small, tiny little microaggressions where you're like, ugh. So fast forward into me being in boot camp, being told that the way my hair naturally grows out of my scalp is unprofessional, and being told by a white MTI that I should relax my hair. And it took my white MTI, a male, for him to go down and, you know, say like, okay, so what's the problem with y'all that y'all have with her hair? Her hair is fine. I'm not sending her to the salon to get it relaxed. And I told her, she didn't like my answer. And I told her, I did not come here all the way with natural hair to be told that I'm going to relax my hair. No, ma'am, I'm not going to do that. And if you knew what you were saying to me, you wouldn't be saying that. Black women knows when it comes to like natural hair, it took me forever to unlearn all the reasons why I wanted straight hair, and to finally be comfortable enough to embrace, have a white woman tell me that I need to relax my hair because it's unprofessional. It blew my mind. Fast forward to Airman Quarles getting orders to Germany. So excited. One of the main reasons, like I said, that I wanted to come into the military is because I wanted to travel, and I was so lucky to get Germany as my first base. My supervisor, like I said, I joined the military whenever I was older, so when I got to my first base, I was 25. And I don't know whether she was just used to having people straight out of high school to where she needed to be a little bit more hands-on. But I like told her like, hey girl, I'm an adult. You tell me where I need to be, I'll be there. You tell me what I need to do, I'll do that. One day she waited until like everyone was out of the office and it was just me and her, and I was in the back charting. Asked me flat out if it was okay for white people to call black people Negro. I swiftly was like, no. Like, why would you even feel comfortable with saying that? Then she said that we weren't black and that she teaches her children to call us brown. And I told her that I was black, and all of the paperwork that I ever filled out never said Negro, never said. I'm so glad for the people, the mentors that I had, because that was handled swiftly. And I never wanted, like, I was never trying to call her racist. I just wanted her to see the error of her ways, because one, she should have never had that conversation with me, her being a NCO and me being an airman, and her just feeling comfortable enough to say that, which she knew she was like saying something wrong because she waited until everyone to leave the room. And I told her, like, you can go ask our black chief, you can go ask the flight chief, you can go ask any of the commanders. You knew what you was doing. I ended up getting moved out of sections because it was just like, it was too much. It sucked because I was going to just eat it, you know. As an airman, I was an airman, she was an NCO. I was just going to deal with it because I thought it was just something that I had to deal with. And then I slowly realized, like, I don't have to deal with that. So fast forward to me getting first to my second base here in South Georgia. And the very first conversation I ever had with my superintendent was him telling me to be cognizant of my surroundings and where I may turn, always know where I'm at, have my GPS on because there's racism here, there are racists here. Very first conversation. And out, like, people were having like secret meetings about me, saying that I was incompetent or they weren't competent, that I was going to be able to do the job before I even was able to do the job, because I was still in processing and being in orientation, which is wild to me. But it was just like always something that I was dealing with here, whether it be my hair, having opportunities pulled from me because I was deemed to have an attitude. But fast forward to me promoting, making staff sergeant, and we all have to go to leadership school. You know, your girl was doing her thing. I was nominated for a Common Out Award, which you're voted for by your peers in your class, and you have to get points, I believe, from your instructor. So I was nominated for the Common Out Award. Super like shook because like I was just super shook, like I wasn't expecting that. I think there was 2 other people or 3 other people that were nominated, and we had to do an interview with the commandant, I guess, who's like the head leader of the Airman Leadership School. I get in there before he even congratulates me about being nominated or ask me any questions that he's supposed to ask me about, like, I guess the interview to see, because I guess ultimately he chooses who the commandant winner is going to be. He literally tells me, no lie, that I need to be cognizant, the same old story, I need to be cognizant of my facial expressions as being unapproachable. And he said that he remembered hearing a conversation about me on, like, I was on the phone with someone and, you know, I sounded angry or something like that. I was on the phone with the DMV who had lost my paperwork 2 times. I was like, sir, have you ever been on the, like, have you ever had a pleasant call with the DMV or whatever? Like, what does this have to do with me being nominated for this award? I felt that he was trying to call me, like, past that same old stereotype of being black and angry woman. And evidently I wasn't too bad, because here I am in your office being nominated by my peers and being nominated by my instructor. I had to make a swift choice on if I was going to eat it, sweep it under the rug, or if I was going to stand up for myself. And I decided to stand up for myself. Like, you don't even know me. I think it's unbecoming of someone in higher leadership, you know, continuing to perpetuate these narrow-minded and redundant stereotypes about someone you've never had a conversation with, and you just judge me. I knew I wasn't getting that, but it didn't matter. I still got distinguished graduate based off my academics, so it was what it was. But that just rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm like, how many other people have he done that to? So that was that. Fast forward to me being deployed, just like having so many people just comfortable with, you know, saying the N-word or higher leadership telling us to turn off that N-word music because they're not trying to hear that. It was just like always something, you know. It just did not sit well with me. That slowly started to realize like maybe this ain't it. Like maybe this ain't for me. And here we are today, me slowly realizing that this country really doesn't care about me or people who look like me, and the military clearly doesn't care about people who look like me because they can't even acknowledge. It took them years to acknowledge the racial biases that they have, and the regulations that were never really made for us, and that's why we're constantly being told that we're out of regs because they were never really made with us in mind. And just like the stereotypes that you have to overcome just to do your job, like you just want to be left alone, but you have people who have racial biases that just come at you all the time, and it just seems like it's a double-edged sword. It's like you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't. But like I said, I hate when people ask me whether or not they should join the military because I can't answer that for you. Only you know what you can and cannot put up with. But I will say this: military is a job. There's going to be bigots, there's going to be racism, and it just depends on what you're willing to put up with. So I'll say that for one. But what is it like being black in the military? Like I said, being black in the military is having emotion and expression in your voice and being told that you're unprofessional, but having a straight face and keeping your voice steady and being told that you have an attitude and you're unapproachable. I will bet a whole check. Ask any black woman that's in the military, and I bet you she's been told that she has an attitude. Being black in the military, having your hair the way your hair naturally grows out of your scalp, being told that it's unprofessional, or having white males with an etched in line in their hair, but let a black dude come in with a part and he's out of regs. Black in the military is it finally taking forever for them to finally admit that there's any type of racial biases. We were told that we were making it up. It wasn't true, but we all knew that it was true. Being black in the military is going to a roll call or all call and being told we all should pray for the cops that have been affected by like the shootings. I forgot what it was. I think it was in Houston shootings, but never ever anyone saying anything about any of the hundreds of black and brown people who've been unjustly killed by police officers. No one's ever said anything. No one's ever come and asked, when things like this pop off. They like to preach about mental health, but no one actually cares, I don't feel, about it. Because if you think that this doesn't affect the black mindset and psyche, you're mistaken. There are some days where I'm just like so angry. People be like, oh, it doesn't affect you. Like, I don't understand why you're angry. You look like me, It could have been me. It could be somebody I love. Even if it's not somebody I know, I still, like, they deserve to be alive. It's called empathy. I'm always going to be connected to black and brown people. Or like being black in the military is seeing all of these, another unarmed, unjustly killed black person on the media, and your leadership sending out regulations for social media posts and protesting, saying that we can't protest. All they say, they never asked you if you're okay, how you're doing, how are you affected by this, do you need to speak to anybody? It's always, remember, you in the military, you can't say this and you can't do this. That hurts, So I've seen some leaders come out and try to have conversations, especially black leaders who are a little bit more cemented, higher NCOs, senior NCOs, who, they got a little bit more wiggle room to talk about it, and they're trying to have these conversations and like say that leadership needs to come out and like talk about this type of things because it is affecting the service members, and we are feeling like, that they don't care, the country doesn't care about us, and we're like putting our lives on the line to serve and protect. It's not right. And I'm sure that I'm already like thinking the worst. I'm like, they're not going to say anything. They just want you to, shut up and color and do your job. But that's just a little bit of like what it's like being black in the military. I'm sure many have similar stories, and that saddens me and it sucks. But just know that we're all in this together. We all we got. Continue to look out for one another, and I love y'all. Hopefully a change comes because this shit is tiring and exhausting. Whew! I love y'all, and y'all be easy.